helping you find your happiness. Does a full moon really affect your brain? Today, we're considering a question that's been floating around for ages. Does a full moon really affect your brain? We've all heard the stories about weird things happening during a full moon, but is there any truth to it? Let's explore this lunar mystery together. First off, let's talk about what we mean by affecting your brain. Are we talking about mood changes, sleep patterns, or maybe even behavior? Well, it turns out people have claimed all sorts of effects from a full moon. Some say they feel more energetic, others report trouble sleeping, and there are even those who believe crime rates go up during a full moon. But here's the thing, before we get too deep into the science, I want you to think about your own experiences. Have you ever noticed anything different about yourself during a full moon? Maybe you felt a bit restless or had vivid dreams. Keep that in mind as we go through this, because your personal observations can be just as interesting as the data. Now, you might be wondering if we're about to debunk all those full moon myths, or if there's actually something to them. Well, stick around, because the answer might surprise you. We've got some fascinating studies to look at, and trust me, the results are not what you might expect. Let's start by considering how the full moon might mess with our sleep. This is probably the most common claim, that a full moon disrupts our sleep patterns. A study published in Current Biology in 2013 seemed to back this up. The researchers found that during a full moon, participants took about 5 minutes longer to fall asleep, slept for about 20 minutes less overall, and had a 30% decrease in deep sleep. Fairly significant, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Subsequent studies have had trouble replicating these results. Some found no correlation at all between lunar phases and sleep quality. This is a perfect example of why scientific research can be tricky. Sometimes, results that seem solid at first don't hold up under further scrutiny. Moving on to behavior, there's the age-old belief that the full moon brings out the crazies. You've probably heard stories about emergency rooms and police stations being busier during a full moon. Fools. But when researchers have looked into crime statistics and hospital admissions, they haven't found any consistent correlation with lunar phases. That said, there is an interesting psychological phenomenon at play here called the illusory correlation. This is when we perceive a relationship between two things that isn't actually there. In the case of the full moon, it's highly visible and memorable, so we might be more likely to notice and remember unusual events that happened during this time, creating a false association in our minds. Now, let's talk about mood. Some people swear they feel different during a full moon. More energetic, more emotional, or just off. While there isn't strong scientific evidence to support this, it doesn't mean these experiences aren't real for the individuals who have them. Our perceptions and beliefs can have powerful effects on how we feel. There's also an intriguing biological hypothesis to consider. Some researchers have suggested that the moon's gravitational pull might affect the water in our bodies, similar to how it affects the tides. Given that our brains are mostly water, could this have some subtle effect? It's an interesting idea, but so far there's no solid evidence to support it. One area where we do see a clear lunar effect is in the animal kingdom. Many species time their breeding cycles with the lunar cycle, and some nocturnal animals change their behavior during a full moon. For example, lions are less likely to hunt during a full moon because their prey can see them more easily. So what can we take away from all this? While the scientific evidence for the moon's effect on human behavior and physiology is mixed at best, that doesn't mean the moon has no impact on us at all. The moon plays a huge role in our culture, our art, and our imagination. It affects our environment through tides and light levels, which could indirectly influence us. If you find yourself feeling different during a full moon, try keeping a moon journal. Note how you feel, how well you sleep, and any unusual events. Over time, you might notice patterns, or you might not. Either way, it's a great exercise in self-awareness and connecting with natural cycles. Remember, science is an ongoing process. Just because we haven't found strong evidence for the moon's effects on our brains doesn't mean we never will. New studies are being conducted all the time, and our understanding is constantly evolving. In the end, whether or not the full moon affects your brain in any measurable way, there's no denying its power to inspire wonder and curiosity. So the next time you see that big, beautiful moon lighting up the night sky, take a moment to reflect. How do you feel? What do you think? And most importantly, what questions does it spark in your mind? Keep looking up, keep asking questions, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to make the next big discovery about our mysterious moon and its effects on us. Until next time, stay curious. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, share it with your friends so we can bring you more ideas. For more videos like this to help elevate your happiness, hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get notified of our next post. Thanks for watching.